Well, good evening. It's Tuesday, I think. Um, I had a bunch of failures on Saturday on the bench of different things. I went out and bought some stuff to replace certain stuff, and I'm going to go through it and test some stuff out. First, what happened? My other one of this, the left button broke. Not broke in the sense it didn't work. No, it overworked. It was double clicking. Now, these particular blue marbles, I find they don't last more than a couple of years before they go. Their buttons are not the best of buttons. So, we have here its replacement. These are the Ergos. They're a lot more expensive, but they are definitely higher quality. So, what we're going to do right now is I'm going to take the dongle out for the little blue one and put the dongle in for the new one. Let's see, where's our mouse? There it is. One mouse working correctly. So I will put this dongle into here, turn it off, and this goes away for a while. So that was one failure. Another failure I had happen, the soldering station, the sake I have, the 852D++, which I really like. For some reason, it is cutting out while it solders. Like the display stops working and stuff like that. So there's definitely something wrong with it. So what I'm going to do is replace it. Now, the replacement I got, and I just happened to forget a item over on the other table. I'll be right back. So I happen to have a certain like for certain types of soldering stations, mainly the ones with nice fat analog wheels on it. And actually, what I'm going to do here is there we go. No, not that one. Let's try face cam. No projector source. There we go. I'm gonna move this, so I can tell I'm actually. Oh yes, the old head's being chopped off a little bit. There we go. Um, so I happen to have a liking for analog knobs. Now, if we look at our little camera, I'm going to turn this one here. You can see the SAIC has displays, off and on switches for the soldering pencil and the air gun. Those two knobs on the right are air flow and air temperature, and the knob in the middle is temperature for the soldering pencil. Now, my problem is I turn it on, and normally it just blinks lines as it's if you don't have any of the main powers on for the subsections. As soon as you turn it on the soldering pencil, the digits come up and it starts heating up. Well, that was a problem. So I got a different one. So this is the one I got. Okay. Um, I mean, both of them have the same, like, this is for the air gun. This piece right here. And just like that one, it's magnetic. I have it over there on the no, in the bin over down here. So we have knob to turn for heat for the soldering pencil, and it's this one. Now, the interesting thing what they did with the air side is this is a clickable button. So you click it in, and you're doing the airflow. You click it again, and you're doing the heat. And it's pretty weighty. One display on here. So So we're going to try this all out, set it up. This is the pencil they gave me right here. But as I found out before, when I plug this into over here, I might move the station a little more over, but I find A, this cord is too stiff, and B, it's too short. So I checked wiring on this one, this pencil, the one I built, extended actually. I just simply put a new cord on it. And it turns out it's the same wiring, same pins. So we get to try that out. So the first thing to do, of course, is slide this off the bench. And in the bin of parts that they gave me, we're going to need the power cord. Yes, this is nice. This one has a standard power cord, and actually a short one too. So, which is pretty cool. We're going to need that. So, and I believe my pen, I'm going to have to take the cord off and move this light a little bit. Yeah. There we go. So I'll have to take this apart someday and figure out what is going wrong with it. And I'm just going to put it down here. And we need our cord. So, and we unwrap it, you know, nothing special. It's not like it's rocket science. Goes back into the power bar here. There we go. So we're off, and there's a master power switch on the back, which is off. And so we put this in. Now I was thinking about moving it over a little bit, so there's some junk on the shelf here. We'll just move the junk out of the way, and we're going to bring this more that way. So the piece I want to bin first of all is this. This is the new air thingy. So let's put that on. And I'm pretty sure the air ends on these things are interchangeable. So what we'll do, just take a screwdriver to this one. There we go. And on this one, there we go. So this goes like so. And that goes like that. It's got that screw-in type end on it, so here we go. Now we have to put the pencil on. And I don't actually need this. I don't like this stand that came with it. It's too light. It's like plastic. So I will get my older stand, which I just put down here for the moment. This is my weighs a ton Weller stand. Here, see, Weller. It's nice and heavy, doesn't move on the desk, that sort of thing. So let's put this in. There we go. Let's put our pencil in. The only thing is that the piece in here that holds the pencil, this is a little too big for this pencil. The rim on here needs to be just a little bigger. It's not killer. So, wow. I will have to get used to that. Well, that's a nice bright display. Here, let me turn the light off here so that you can actually see it. Wow, it's really bright. Just to sacrifice, it is blue with white digits. So we turn on the pencil. And it's heating up. Oh, this is kind of nice. The Sake didn't do this. This one's actually heating up and showing how hot it's getting. 340, 348, 356, 364, 372, 388, 396. Well, this is nice. It goes right through degree by degree on the click, click, click. So I think I had my other one at 360 or so. Not so hot. Let's say 365 Celsius. Oh, it's definitely nice. Let's check the this. Oh, that is a quick heat up. Wow. And I guess you can program the, I don't know how to do it yet. I have to read the instructions, but you can program preset temperatures into there. Wonder what happens if you just hit channel 1. But that is nice. I have my old pencil on there. And I guess the bigger one is for the air gun itself. So I don't need this pencil. And I definitely don't need those. Maybe I should put the air gun. Well, I'm going to slide this back over here because I just realized I have to reach the air gun. Or sorry, the air gun's kind of in the way in that. So this goes back there. Now, we did get a bunch of parts with this. This came also, you know, as I said, with a stand. But nice thing, he also came, this guy here is a spare heating element for the pencil. This is a spare heating element for the air gun. And that was my wiring diagram that I was looking at. Now, there is this gizmo here, and I don't know what it actually is. It looks like a little thing you screw on here, and you got 2 little prongs on it. And then, of course, tips for the air gun. And I'm just going to throw them in my collection of soldering stuff over here. I have this thing full of soldering stuff. And they gave actually a fairly heavy roll of solder. But it's 1 millimeter. It's really thick solder. So that will probably go back into the spare solder stuff. And then they gave you 2 tweezers. I already have a tweezer set. What did I do right here? So I already have my tweezer set here. And I have my magnifying glass, of course, because I'm blind as the proverbial bat. And I'm going to put that up here like that. And of course, they gave you a whole bunch of tips. Now I have no idea if the tips are any good or not. I mean, I bought Hako knockoff tips before. That's what's on that one, and it works really well. So I'm gonna just put these extra tools here in here, and this will go back into here, and this will have to go back later into. I have a little bin somewhere up here with soldering station supply stuff. I'll have to put that in, all stuff in there. I mean, I already had a bunch of tips here too. Here's another that I used already, but I think buried in here. So I had the other air tips here, some more tips. I'm pretty sure in this I have in the what do you call it? The some extra supply stuff. I have the extra tips. So if you treat your tips well, i.e., you tin them like this, so they're nice and shiny. Here, let's see if we can put that right there. Yeah. No, this is a better one. There, like that. You can see the nice shininess on the tip. If you keep doing that, and we always do that, your tips will last forever. And this little thing I must have bought 3 years ago, and it's still fine. All this is just a little tin of tin. Yeah, great. A double anachrome. So that was that, and that's going to go into here because I'm not going to use that tip. I do like the rubber on it, but I have no trouble with the grip on this one either. So we have a mouse replaced. We have that replaced. Now, I ran into another issue. Where did I put that little bin? Little bin. Ah, here it is. So let's just take out our trash bin here and look at this. So after I soldered all the feather stuff, so here is the feather with the RP2040, I think. No, this is the SMD 21 feather. And this guy here is the Huza. And I had another feather. What did I do with it? Oh, right. No, that's the Itsy Bitsy. And there's the Pico. I'm missing a feather here. Why am I missing a feather? Probably in this bin right here. Oh, another piece of soldering equipment. I never use the solder sucker. I actually have the desoldering station, so I prefer that. So what do we got in here? Itsy Bitsy, Itsy Bitsy, Itsy Bitsy. 2 zeros, 2 cameras. No, it's not in here. Wow, that's great. I stuck it somewhere. Here it is. So this is the Feather RP2040. As you see, I was trying to get the display working off it, but I ran into an issue. I soldered the wrong pins on these guys. That's right. So what I did is I went back to AdaFruit, and I ordered some more, but this time I ordered them with what they call stacking headers. And so I'll solder that later when the box is actually at work at the moment. I just don't have it here. So I'll probably put it into the next mail call, which is maybe on Friday or Saturday. I don't know. Then you stack these guys on top like this to the stackable header, and then we can use it. I thought at first all I needed was And I'm still not 100% sure of this. I thought all I needed was um, data, control the reset, and the power, and it's not going on. I have no trouble getting onto here, and I have no trouble putting in programs on here, but I just cannot get the display to be running. So I'm going to get the other type. It doesn't mean I won't be able to use these, right? I mean, sure, I can use it with jumper wires to stuff and stuff like that. At first, I thought it wasn't getting enough power to here, but no, that's what this was on here for. So, and of course, I like the itsy bitsies because you can see I was doing that, and they're really nice. I also, since I was doing AdaFruit, I got more batteries. I think I got another one of these guys, and I got some other ones, smaller ones. So I'll have like 6 batteries now. I just have to make sure that when I do AdaFruit next, every time, is to buy some batteries. And I did get in one of the mail calls. Remember, I had the display here. This one? No, not this one. Where is it? I had another one. Well, basically LCD panels. I have like 4 or 5 of them without a daughter board on them. Basically, a driver board. So I have some new driver boards, and I have a bunch more coming, just so I have a stock of these driver boards they can use. I was thinking of getting the one. I have that one driver board from AdaFruit. I actually put a header stacker, a female header on it instead, so that I could just plug it into the back of these things without having to solder them on. Then they can change it out. But I found that their little board is about 4 times the cost of the one that's on the back of this one here. This guy right here. So this board here, they're dirt cheap. And I do have it working on here. This is the Mega. I actually have this whole display working just fine. In fact, I can probably show it off. Of course, Murphy's Law will state that I'll try to show it off and it won't work. Isn't that the way things work? And I'm just going to put all this feather stuff into the bin with that. So we need a USB, this one, the real flexible one. I really like that cable. It's really flexible. There it is. ABC, here I am, blah, blah, 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. So apparently somewhere in shipment is an 8-line one. I think it's 8. It could be 6, but I think it's 8. It's big like this. That's the one I really waiting for. But I was going to use one of these guys as a basis for a hexadecimal display for an address decoder. Now that I've got a fair idea how to do everything, I think I might can start making that thing. It's the one on that Apple's site that I found where she was building, or he, I can't tell. Do I still have the retro shield technology, writing, build? Veronica. So Veronica, and let me just change here to, of course, web thing is not working, right? Let's see. Chrome 1 properties, please. Give me Veronica. There we go. So this person right here. So this is from A to Z, basically, building everything inside of, and you can see 2011, but building basically an apple. How she starts out, or he starts out, with clocks and everything, and works her way up to different parts. So hex out, for example, here. This is what I'm after. They built this, and you can see basically This thing is just using two decoders. I think it's just two decoders, the two, yeah, 74HC 597 ends, and an AT Tiny. And I have those AT Tinies. I have the programmer. I have all this. I can do the connections, but I'm going to do it slightly differently. I saw another approach to the exact same circuit, basically, but they use the nano, and um, they use basically this concept here, where they did away with the um, some of the way she did it. Or this is the problem. I don't know if this is a she or he. Um, Instead, they did more of the work on here for driving everything, and they used one of these instead of the segment displays. They used actually the narrower one, the 2-line one, to do it. But with a 4-line one like this or an 8-line one could decode 4 lines of assembly or 8 lines of assembly at once. So that's my goal eventually on working on this. It's just taking me years to do this, but that that is I'm still really interested in the way this is all working. So you can see her clock here, right? You can see so she got power. It looks like she built her own power. I'm gonna keep since it's Veronica. I'm gonna keep referring to she. Um, but you can see the power supply. You can see the chips, the connection for the cables. Um, I'm not sure what's going on with the dip switches are here, right here. But it's a three. She built the board itself and put all the stuff on it. This is where she actually has, I think, the 6502 on the board. That's how it looks like a logic analyzer. Oh, she's faking out. Okay, I understand what's going on here. She's using the dip switches to fake out the output from the CPU. So she doesn't have the CPU just quite yet on it. All she has is she's turning on and off the um, output from the data bus on the CPU. So it makes it look like it's generating letters. Code, like hexadecimal on the thing. So that was her first big step, was to build a decoder like this. And then each of these files, this is a layer in that board. You saw there's 3 boards in there. Well, each one is this. So this, for example, is the drivers for all the digit display, the inputs from. So D1, A, B, C, D, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have the 595s turning it into SPI basically. So was the other way around. I have to reread this again. But you get the idea what's going on here. So she's testing out running the displays first before she actually builds the board. And there you go. And then that's an assembled version of it, but you get the idea. And then what's on the first page? Um, a 16-bit hexadecimal display module is what she calls it. Okay, so this is the actual top layer where she just has the digits, these guys right here. There you go, like so. But that's my goal. But instead of doing this and all that work, I will do it with one of these, which I saw done. And I actually saw literally, I saw one other sample of this, and I have to find the page for it. But they literally used the Mega, Arduino Mega, to do all the work. So they used, because it has so many data lines on it, and you can see it here, all these data lines, all a huge block of them here. Well, you can rig this all to go directly to and get, so you could send all the address lines and all the data lines directly to the Mega from a 6502. And then you just have to write the right code to decode it all or send stuff to the CPU. In fact, there is a Apple One emulation that's all built around a Mega, this and a few other stuff. And it's kind of cool. That's another way of doing it. So I did order from a guy in Germany. He had the actual Apple One retypeset documentation. This is really cool. It's really nice size. It's the actual stuff that used to come with the Apple One computer, including the schematics, the ROM, everything, all nicely printed out in the whole 9 yards. Wasn't cheap, but it was a really, really nice set of documents. I mean, I have some Apple II documents here. I have some Apple IIc documents here, right? But this is this is the stuff that's started it all. And I was really interested in getting it. So it'll be cool to look at when I get it. Oh, look at that. My camera, you can almost read it now. Woo. Yeah. Well, if you go like this and hit reset, there you go. There you go. There you go. Ta-da. And the code's not really hard for doing this. Once I found the library for driving this board, it was fairly straightforward. And it's in some GitHub, and it's some guy who actually does AdaFruit stuff actually ported over to the AdaFruit's version of the driver board code to this particular board, because this one is very, very, very common. Almost all these LED displays use that board to drive everything. I personally think AdaFruit should add that board officially into the mix. But, yep. So, now the next thing I have to fix, and I'm probably going to wait till Saturday to do it, is the NAS fan failed. Yeah. So I have a new fan in it, but it happens to be a high dB level fan, so it's a bit noisy. It makes the NAS sound like a wind tunnel. I'm going to change that one out. I got another new fan, an ultra quiet, like 10 dB or something like that fan. The NAS just needs some airflow pulled through it. That's all it is. It's nothing major. And that'll quiet down the NAS, make it dead quiet again. But I'll have to open it all up, and I'll have to do some soldering and stuff. And that's why I needed a good working station. I kind of like this station. This one uses a lot less shelf space. Yeah. And it's holding temperature really good. I do like the idea that the clickies on it are 1 degree clickies. And I like the idea that it's defaulting to centigrade. Interesting. Yes, I know you're Fahrenheit people out there. And let's unplug this for the moment. Yeah. I still have to work on my Trinky a little bit. I'm just going to put my two daughter breadboards there. But that was it for tonight. That's why I really, really was eager to get this all set up. So now I can turn off my soldering pencil. Off. And I can reach around to the back side. Oh, they warned me. I'm not supposed to turn it off right away. I'm supposed to wait like 30 seconds or so like that. They said there's a thing in there. Oh, it's the air gun that's I have to worry about because there's a sensor in the air gun, just like the other one. It's designed to make sure the air gun cools properly. It's also have the air side has a magnetic thing in the handle. So when you put the air gun back in the handle, the magnet flips a switch, and that switch effectively tells it to go to sleep, but it actually goes through a cool down period to make sure. So maybe when I was doing the feather, I should have played with these guys. So I did the soldering on these two boards, of course. This is a OLED also. And then this guy is a LCD, I believe. Nope, this is the sharp memory thing they were talking a lot about. So yeah, it is now. I believe it's an LCD. And I put this one more flat. So they can sit on a board like that. Hey, we'll find out. So I'll let it go here, and you can all go to bed now. Go to bed. I should be in bed myself, but I'm not very tired. Yeah, where's my stop recording? Oh yeah, and you know the usual. Uh, there's these really funky buttons below my video that say like, dislike, subscribe. I never put the damn buttons right into the screen, so I really haven't found a good tail piece. I used to do it, but ah, if you do YouTube, you know where the darn things are anyway. So goodbye.